Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of Brad Cook Stuff. This week I had a hard time thinking about what to make, and then I realized after a quick mental inventory of my freezer that I have more than enough steak to make a pretty nice little Japanese style dish with my own little spin, as well as a nice little side dish. So, this week we're going to make ourselves a donburi, or basically a meat over rice bowl, and a nice little side dish with a vegetable that I have a hard time finding in Japan. So let's take a look at the ingredients, see what we're working with this week. All right, so here are my ingredients for the week. Our main dish is going to consist of these 3 steaks, as well as some different kinds of spicy sauces, and a little bit of microwave rice. And for the side dish, we have some riced cauliflower and some sabor de jamon, which I always like using. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the side dish done first. So this package of riced cauliflower suggests that I heat it up in the microwave, but since I want to use my ham flavoring, I'm going to go ahead and heat it up on the stove nice and slow. I put 3 pouches of sabor de jamon into this riced cauliflower, and not only is it mixing nicely, but it smells pretty good too. We're going to go ahead and cook it for a little while longer, make sure everything is nice and hot and well mixed, and then we'll take it off the heat and move on to our main dish. All right, that's done. Let's fry some steak. For my steak, I'm going to go ahead and cut these up into small pieces, and then I'm just going to use 1/3 of the resulting volume and fry each of them in a different kind of sauce. Well, that took a lot more work than I expected it to. There was a fair amount of fat on those steaks, but I've gone ahead and basically boiled it down to just this. So this is the first third of my steak with harissa, which, if you're not familiar, is more of a Middle Eastern, African kind of a spicy paste. Let's go ahead and fry this up. I've used harissa before on steak, but I have to say, when you fry with it, it smells delicious, nice and spicy. All right, well, that was pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and we'll go ahead and fry up the next chunk of steak. So the next thing we're frying our steak with is sambal, which is a spicy Indonesian paste. Unlike the harissa, this sambal is pretty messy if you fry it on too high a heat. So if you cook with it, make sure you cook it on a lower heat so it doesn't spatter everywhere. The sambal fried steak is done. I'm going to put it in with the harissa fried steak. We've got 1 more third of that cut steak to work with. For the last third of our cut steak, I'm going to fry it in this garlic chili sauce that I've used before. This cooks with a very strong smell of garlic. It's actually really nice. And with that, the last of our cut steak is fried. I'm going to put it in with the rest of the steak now. You're looking at 3 kinds of spicy sauce fried cut steak in one container, but separated. However, I'm going to go ahead and shake up this container, mix them up, and then we're going to put it over rice. So I probably said before that my apartment is way too small for most appliances, including a rice cooker. So when I need rice for some dish, I use these single-serving microwavable rice packages. But I'm going to use, as a rice bowl, this Persona 3 Hagakure rice bowl. That's right, I've actually got an authentic Persona 3 rice bowl to use. Well, there's a single-serving microwavable rice in the bowl. Let's cover it with some of this triple flavor spicy steak. Well, that looks pretty good and it smells pretty good, but I feel like it's missing something. There we go. That's much better. Some nice shredded cheese, but I think we're going to have to put it back in the microwave because the steak has been out for a little while, and I want that cheese to be a little bit melty. Well, I gave it a little bit in the microwave, and I think that cheese is melty enough. It's time for dinner. All right, moment of truth. I have here a bowl of rice topped with 3 kinds of spicy sauce, fried steak, and cheese, and some riced cauliflower with ham flavoring. I actually want to start with our side dish here, this ham-flavored riced cauliflower. It smells nice and ham-like. All right. That's really good. There's a lot of strong ham flavor, nice and salty, because cauliflower by itself usually doesn't have a whole lot of flavor, but with this sabor de jamon, it is definitely nice and flavorful. Right. But the star of the show is this steak donburi. So we want enough rice and steak and cheese. There we go. Oh man, it's just coming right off the spoon. Let's give this a try. See how it tastes. Mmm. 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 Okay, that is delicious. It is nice and spicy. It's got that nice garlic flavor. It's 3 kinds of spicy flavor. You have a chili style, you have more of a Middle Eastern African style, and you have more of an Indonesian style, all mixed together with a little bit of cheese that kind of reduces the spice level just a little bit, just enough to make it almost perfect. I'm going to need another bite of this. Let's get a nice bite of that. Oh, look at that. It is coming right off the spoon. All right, let's have another bite. That is straight up delicious. I mean, spicy, beefy, plus you got that nice cheese and the rice with it. I've used all 3 of these spices before in previous recipes, but putting them all together is really an excellent combination. This is pretty easy to make, if not a little time consuming, because every time I finished 1/3 of the steak, I would have to wash out the pan, dry it, and then set it up for the next third. But it's okay because in the end, I got this really nice donburi. And as for this riced cauliflower with sabor de jamon, it's a frozen pouch of riced cauliflower, and I put in 3 packages of ham flavor. This is super simple to make. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with what I've made, and I could easily make this again. In fact, I've got a lot of the spicy steak left, and I've got 1 more package of microwavable rice. Plus, it's pretty easy to find in Japan, so I could make this as many times as I like. Anyway, I've got a whole bunch of this spicy steak donburi with cheese left, and a lot of this ham-flavored riced cauliflower left. I'm actually not going to finish all of this tonight. Whatever I don't eat, I'm going to put back in the fridge, but I am going to finish this tonight. So, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll see you in the next video.